Number one is father absence.
Yes.
Everything that happens is secondary to that. Like it all falls apart once you remove fathers from the home. And I talk about that often, and actually Barack Obama spoke about this. He gave a Father's Day speech.
Yes.
And he started talking about all the statistics of what happens when you remove a father from the home. One simple thing, remove a father from the home and a child is 9 times more likely to end up in prison, 6 times more likely to drop out of school. 12 times more likely to end up in prison, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 6 times more likely to lead a life of poverty, right? One single element. And there are actually policies that since the 1960s have incentivized that for Black America. That's when everything fell apart for Black Americans. Our families were together, kids were performing better. I mean, it literally in every statistic, Black Americans were doing better. Think about this, under Jim Crow laws. So what happened? Well, you tore apart our families. And you turned us into a culture of baby mamas, which is now reflected in our music. So when I talk about Black culture,
I bring a lot of issues to the table that I feel our side is not talking enough about, if at all. For example, the number one social problem in America by far is the epidemic not of COVID, but of fatherlessness. 70% of Black kids today enter the world without a father in the home, married to the mother, up from 25% back in 1965. Now 25% of white kids enter the world today without a father in the home, married to the mother. And the stats are clear. Even Barack Obama once cited them. If you're raised without a dad, you're 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. KKK was still alive and well. 87% of Blacks lived under the poverty line. Now it's about 14%. You can't blame it on poverty. You can't blame it on racism. It is the breakdown of the nuclear intact family, and neither side is talking about it.
The illegitimacy rate among Black families is 25% then. Now, among whites, it's over a third.
Yeah.
Hispanics, it's over half. And among African Americans, it's over 70%. What's going on there?
In South Korea, it's 1 out of 66.
Wow. Wow. And so what? That's the welfare state? What?
Yes.
It is.
Oh, you're paying. You're creating a situation where if the first of all, you're creating a situation where if the man stays there, the government will not give the woman welfare, and if he leaves, it will. And so they're paying. When you pay people not to get married, more people don't get married.
Proportionate amount of mayhem actually lies with a menacing 2 to 3% minority within the Black populace. I call them urban terrorists. And since they're literally spawned from problem number 2, the Black community protects them. Problem number 2, proliferation of baby mamas. The disintegration of the nuclear family has led to an astronomical increase of single mother households. According to the Moynihan Report, in 1965, nearly 25% of Black children were born to unwed mothers. The report's author, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, said this was a disaster in the making. He was, of course, vilified by so-called Black leaders and their progressive allies. But he was right. Today, the out-of-wedlock birth rate is nearly 75% and even higher in some urban areas. To be clear, baby daddies share this responsibility with baby mamas. Yet, while baby daddies are blamed and rarely shown compassion, baby mamas are rarely blamed and receive both compassion and support.
It's no secret to see the white Christian political party uses Black people to roll out their messages for them, whether it be from the Daily Wire, Dennis Prager, the Hoover Institution, and others. They often use coons to promote their anti-Black messages for them. I mean, it's easier for the world to swallow, right? In fact, after she got fired, Candace Owens openly admitted that the Daily Wire encouraged her to slander Black people. But well, the Christian political right, who often criticizes Black Americans, frankly, any other group of Black people on the planet for having children out of wedlock, often citing concerns about structure, social welfare, godlessness, and family values. But they seem to have conveniently overlooked the actions of one of their own prodigal sons, Elon Musk. This white man has sired 14 children with multiple baby mamas and has recently been linked to potentially having over 100 more children. Amazing!
Forget family trees, Elon Musk is apparently cultivating an entire forest. Musk, who is planning to one day colonize Mars, It might not be long before the world gets to witness a daycare on the red planet with only Musk's offspring. According to a Wall Street Journal report, Elon Musk is attempting to create a legion of children. The aim is to have as many children as possible. The reason? Musk believes that declining birth rates pose an existential risk to civilization. According to the report, Musk is actively using X to solicit potential mothers and going as far as suggesting surrogacy to speed up the procedure. Musk's ambition to establish a sprawling dynasty was brought to light when Ashley St. Clair, social media influencer and mother of his 14th child, revealed he offered her a $15 million lump sum and $100,000 in monthly child support in exchange for her silence about their child. St. Clair revealed that she ultimately declined Musk's offer. The Tesla CEO is confirmed to have fathered at least 14 children with 4 known women. This includes influencer St. Clair, singer Grimm's, Neuralink executive Chiffon Zillies, and ex-wife Justin Musk. It is believed the true number of Musk's children is much higher than what the public is aware of. The Wall Street Journal report also mentions Tiffany Fong, a Japanese cryptocurrency influencer. Fong reportedly received a direct message from Musk on X asking whether she'd be willing to mother his child, a proposal that she declined, citing a desire for a traditional family.
Here's a piece done by the Daily Mail on April the 26th. A journalist for The Atlantic has claimed that Elon Musk could have fathered in excess of 100 children as a part of his harem. Wow. Speaking on the Sanity podcast that went live on Friday, the outlet's Elizabeth Bruenig made the claim about the Tesla CEO and ex-boss. She said, "I believe he has 14 known children, but people who spoke to the Wall Street Journal for their expose on his childbearing habits suggested the number is much higher. I've heard people estimating the children, at 100 or more." Bruenig, who authored a piece titled "The Harem of Elon Musk," contended that such a number would surprise her, saying it's definitely much higher than 14. And so far, I think there are 4 women he's had children with. Let's see, possibly 5 with the addition of Ashley St. Clair, but I think it's 4. Podcast co-host Alison Kemroda also claimed that the women Musk has had children with have signed non-disclosure agreements. She said, "The reason we don't know about all of these other children and women is because he makes his baby mama sign NDAs, and he's very lawyered up." Wow. MAGA influencer St. Clair claimed earlier this month that Musk had offered her $15 million and $100,000 a month to not publicly disclose he was the father of their son Romulus. Now, there's a part further down that I just love. Where is it? Yes. How is this family values? He doesn't acknowledge some of his children, and he refuses to be on the birth certificate of some of his children. He pays off the women. He attacks them in court. Now that part there has an interesting ring to it, coming from the richest man on the planet. Not only does he avoid being an active father, but he also avoids child support. And I know that he had done some other things, like basically for like a week or so, I guess one of the kids were sick with one of the baby mamas, and she had to basically air out their dirty laundry because he refused to respond to her phone calls and text messages. So yeah, he's a horrible father. Even his own father said he's a bad father.
Do you think Elon is a good dad?
No, he hasn't been a good dad. The first child was too much with nannies and died in the care of a nanny. Now, what I'm saying, if Elon hears this, he's going to shoot me or something. But anyway, that's what I think. That's no good. They were too rich, too many nannies. Then he had 5 children with the same woman, 5 sons, all brought up. Each one had its own nanny. You followed me?
Mm-hmm.
When they got divorced, the nannies were 6 on this side and 6 on that side. So it was really a weird situation.
Just never really spent time with kids, hey?
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. When we talk about welfare queens, Elon Musk is the biggest welfare queen. His companies have received billions in federal contracts and subsidies, which is basically a form of corporate welfare. Yet the white Christian political party largely supports Elon Musk and his business ventures. This raises a lot of questions about their priorities and so-called family values to their God. But all of this isn't entirely surprising, as individual 47 lacked discipline and cheated on his former wives with prostitutes, making those wives into baby mamas too, while being an absentee father. He also cheated on his current wife as well. But for some reason, we aren't hearing anything about white culture, white depravity, godlessness, and the lack of family values from any of these white people. We're not hearing it from Fox News. We're not hearing it from PragerU. No one. Oh, I know. Musk and individual 47's wealth and influence can shield them from similar scrutiny placed on black people, right? Well, the problem is merely having money isn't what makes a man a father. Being there and being active in their lives, the children's lives, is what makes a man a father. Let's not forget that Elon has done everything in his power to not pay child support while making his baby mamas sign NDAs. The blatant inconsistency of this white Christian political party on family values is striking. By holding black Americans and other blacks around the diaspora to a different standard than wealthy elites like Elon Musk, they reveal a deeper issue with their rhetoric. But yeah, they ain't calling these men deadbeat dads, and they sure ain't calling these white women 304s and godless ghetto harlots.
If we could extirpate the dysfunctional underclass culture, and that is something that is tearing down blacks' potential to succeed by embracing this oppositional culture that says that academic effort and achievement is acting white. It glorifies criminality, glorifies conspicuous consumption, misogyny, maximal procreation, having as many children as you can by different baby mamas. If we could get, I would say, an intervention that was maybe focused less on the cognitive matters and more on simply deferring gratification, self-control, the types of issues that Edward Banfield wrote about in the Unheavenly City, that would be the most important thing to focus on, because I'm not sure that efforts to change the cognitive skills gap will be that successful over time. But really, all we ask is people to respect the law and to restrain their impulses.